皆さんこんにちは and welcome to Shogo's podcast. So today I'd like to talk a little bit more about the thing that I talked about in my new video series, Shogo's Classroom. If you have watched the two videos, thank you so much. If you haven't yet, it'd be great if you can check them out. They were on my main channel. It was my new video series where I talked in front of a green screen and I had like this whiteboard next to me, and with completely no script, I just kept on talking about my own life. And basically in my next class, I will be talking about Japanese history, well, samurai history basically, from the very beginning to the very end. The next theme is about that. I actually have the next whiteboard ready and such. I'm really excited. But anyways, in the new Shogo's Classroom video that I recently posted, at the very end, I talked a little bit about, there's a lot of people saying that Japan is a country, Japanese people are the kind of people who really don't like to change, are really reluctant to change, takes time to change. And that's just their culture, that's their personality, their character. But in the video I said that's not true, right? Because a lot of people who we call heroes were the people who made change. Like, for example, when Japan westernized in the Meiji period, Japanese people were immediately able to shift to a new culture and a new society, from all the people with chomage hairstyles, the bald hairstyles, and with katanas, suddenly taking all of that off and starting wearing Western clothes and having, using guns as main weapons and everything. They were able to change, absolutely. And that change was so quick, right? And that's the reason why Japan was able to basically evolve through Western culture very quickly. So I think it's incorrect to say that Japan does not like change in general, or Japanese people are like that. So this is something I did talk about in the video, but in today's podcast I wanted to deepen it down and wanted to emphasize this again because it's really important. And by the way, the reason why I was able to get to this idea was actually because I was talking again with Gaijin Goomba. If you remember, I made a podcast saying that I've had occasion to talk with him, and this was the last, basically, what should I say, topic that I got to talking with him. And this was something that he was really surprised and astonished with. But basically, what I'm trying to say is that it's definitely not true the Japanese people are reluctant to change, but because we have changed. Because Japan has changed many times. And as we always say, Japan is a country where it's really good at basically absorbing a new culture, absorbing new techniques, technology, and changing it, and making it better. That's something that a lot of people talk about, right? Yeah. And so if we are an island country, island nation that's not good at accepting new things that come in, why were we able to accept Buddhism right away? And also blend it together with our original religion, Shintoism, right? Weren't we good at that? Yeah. Like all the other things too, like mostly everything, even the characters that we use, the kanji characters were from China, instruments were from China. First of all, the techniques to make crops, for example, came from Korea and China. All of these things were because, Japan is the island nation at the very end of Asia. If we weren't able to accept new things all the time, there was no way Japan could have survived. Only during the Edo period, all the trading, everything were restricted, and the government had very strong control over the people. But even at that time, Japan was definitely trading with other countries, and they were still learning about science, about technology from Europe and everything. And so Japanese people were always willing to learn from outside countries. The only reason that the Tokugawa family, Tokugawa shogunate, banned, well, not completely banned, but restricted trade was because they wanted to maintain their control. It wasn't about, no, we don't like your culture, we don't like your new knowledge that you're bringing to us. It's not about that. It's about control. So that's completely different too. But the point is, it is a fact that right now, Japan today is definitely reluctant to change. This is definitely a fact. Yep. I'm saying that it's not right that Japan has always been reluctant to change, or this is the nature of Japanese people. That is definitely not true. The fact the thing that's very special, I don't know if the special is the right word or not, but unique, I guess, different from other time periods compared to today, is that today is a super aging society. Super aging society. As I always say, the average age in Japan is 47.4 years old, and about in 2050, I think it was 2050, 1/3 of the people will be older than 65 years old. So you bring 3 Japanese people and one person is going to be older than 65 years old. And basically you line up all Japanese people in one row, and more than half of the population is older than basically 48 years old, right? So that is how old our society is. And this is the reason why Japan is reluctant to change. Not because Japanese people has been reluctant to change throughout history. Now, it's something in modern days for sure. For absolutely, that is the reason why. So we need to understand, I think we definitely need to separate the original Japanese people's character, nature and culture to the society today. Because Japanese history has never experienced such a super old society before, ever in history. This is the first time Japan is experiencing this, right? So there are obstacles that we need to overcome for the first time in history because of this situation, for sure. And we definitely need to not forget that the younger generations, for example, in Japan too, are definitely willing to change, make Japan a better place, or simply live happier lives. There are people thinking of that, and there are a lot of people noticing there must be something happening. But a lot of surveys actually taken to check what younger generations in Japan are thinking. Most people don't have any hope at all. Because they also think what most people outside of Japan think too. Japanese people can't change. Japan can't change. Yeah, and that's true, because in a way that is true, because that's what I felt when I was young too. Because in Japan, the elders are always more important, right? Their opinions, what they say, are always the priority. And right now, Japan is like a country that has a really huge head and a small body kind of thing, and you can't go anywhere, basically, because your body is so small and your head is so big. People who think that they're more important are just so big, the population, So it does look like there's really nothing you can do about it, But I really don't think that's true. Giving up here is just really sad, because I bet when Sakamoto Ryoma or Saigo Takamori or Takasugi Shinsaku, these people during the Bakumatsu period, the end of the Edo period, when the U.S. came with the battleships and came to Japan to open for trade, and when that happened, that revolution basically happened in Japan, I'm pretty sure a lot of people were in despair. Like, oh, it's over, There's a different country with huge weaponry, guns and cannons that Japanese people have never seen before. All we have are these really old guns and swords. There's no way we can win. It's done for. We can't even speak an international language. All of our technology, science, and everything are all outdated compared to the European world, the Western countries, compared to Western countries. And there's absolutely no way we're going to be winning. We're just going to be slaves. This is the end, I'm pretty sure, but many people thought that way. But again, the people that I talked about in my main videos too, the revolutionists, did not give up. They did not give up. They fought for what they believed in. They fought for the future they wanted to create. And that's the reason why Japan was able to prosper after that, and even today. So that's what I'm trying to say. That's the kind of person I want to be. Now, I will definitely be struggling a lot from here. I will be losing the way, which way I'm supposed to go, kind of thing, And I'm pretty sure this is not a straight road, and it's not a paved road either. Obviously, not at all. But this is definitely a path that's worth living through, walking through my whole life, and I'm definitely going to be enjoying the way there. And again, someday I want to be called the modern whoever it is, in the future, maybe. And I don't know when that day will come, but someday I really hope that day will come when a lot of cultures, traditional culture, and Japanese, I don't know, sceneries or things like that were saved and preserved thanks to Team Let's Ask Shogo. So then everyone, as I always say, the ultimate goal of my life is to make all Japan lovers' dreams come true. So I know that there's a lot of people studying Japanese, willing to come to Japan to travel, study, or work, or train in our traditional culture and such. However, I am very afraid, as we've been talking about today, Japan will not be able to make everyone's dreams come true in the future because we're facing a lot of social problems, we are losing our traditional culture, and the younger generations who are supposed to be carrying on the good things about Japan are dying because of all the social issues being shoved against them. So I really want to dedicate my life to try to make Japan a better place. I want to try to preserve the traditional culture, solve the social problems, evolve traditional culture, solve the social problems, and also help out the younger generations so they can have a brighter future. And to do that, the nearest goal I have right now is to achieve 2 million subscribers by January 2023 on my main channel, so your likes and comments will help to boost my videos to new viewers who have never seen my videos before. It'd be great if you can help me out. And my third and fourth and fifth steps are all moving at the same time too. We are really close to completing our first merchandise we're going to be making. Also, our stage performances, all four of us have decided what we're going to be doing from now on. And also the fifth step is challenging ourselves in tourism again, actually. And it seems, looking at the news right now, it seems from next month, from June 2022, some people will start to be able to be accepted to travel within Japan from overseas as well. So that's a really good sign, I think. And I think next year in 2023, most of the things will be back to normal. This year, I think it'll be going back and forth. They'll be like, yes, you can come in. No, you can't. Yes, you can. We'll probably be going back and forth still this year. So maybe from around next year, we'll be challenging that as well. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I hope you can, you can look forward to our future plans as well. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for listening to today's podcast too. I really, really appreciate it. Bye-bye.